Hello, namaste, yogis. I hope you can hear me here. It's pouring rain behind me. But I wanted to share with you a story today about the goddess Meenakshi. Meenakshi is a goddess who's very much worshipped in South India and Tamil Nadu. And her name, Meenakshi, it means the one with the eyes like fishes, the fish-eyed goddess, because her eyes were so big and so loving. When she looks at her devotees, it's like water is just pouring out, like she's got these big, soft, watery eyes. And so the story starts with her parents, and her dad was a great king, his wife was the queen, and they desperately wanted a child that they could pass their kingdom on to, and especially they wanted a son. Of course, because in those days it was considered, much more valuable to have a son, and a king could usually only pass his kingdom on to a man, or if he had a daughter, the daughter had to have a husband, and so there had to be some man involved. And so he and his wife, they prayed and they prayed and they prayed to have a child, and nothing happened. They were unable to. And finally, they did one more thing. They made a huge fire. They did a big ceremony. They had this giant fire. They invited everyone they knew to come and help them pray, and they put things in the fire like ghee and sacred herbs. And they prayed to Shiva. They prayed that Shiva would deliver them a child. And he did. He answered their prayers, but not in the way that they imagined. Right out of the center of the fire walked a 3-year-old girl. She had those big, wide, soft, beautiful eyes, and she had not one, not two, but 3 breasts. And her father and mother, instead of saying, "What? We wanted a boy. This isn't what we asked for," or "Why does she have 3 breasts? We got a freak," they didn't do any of that. They were so grateful just to have a child. They accepted this gift unconditionally, without expectation of what it should be, and they welcomed this daughter with open arms into their family and called her Meenakshi. And so her father, because he only had one daughter, he didn't have a son, he raised her like a son. He taught her everything he knew. He taught her how to be a great warrior, a great archer, a great ruler. But he did hope that one day she would marry so he could pass his kingdom off to her and her husband. When it seemed time for her to marry, he invited all the eligible men in the kingdom. But Meenakshi said, "I'm not going to marry any of them unless they can defeat me in battle." And so they had a contest to see if anyone could defeat Meenakshi in battle. And of course, because she was such an accomplished warrior, none of the men could beat her. And so her father, he was such a cool dude, he accepted this. He said, "Okay, this is how it's gonna be." And Meenakshi, once her father died, she was able to inherit the kingdom all on her own without a man by her side. And she was a wonderful ruler, a just ruler, a kind ruler, and a strong ruler, and she led great armies that defeated evil all over the world, all over India. And then they took the armies. Meenakshi led her armies up north. She climbed up north through the Himalayas with her armies, and there she ran into Shiva. And she invited Shiva into battle with her. And of course, Shiva won the battle. And so once Shiva defeated her in battle, she realized, this is my true partner. This is my consort, my husband. And when she married Lord Shiva, her 3rd breast fell off. And so what do you think of that story? It's kind of interesting, isn't it? I mean, it's pretty great, this idea of challenging gender norms, which doesn't often happen in these traditional Hindu stories. That she's such a fierce female character. But of course, in the end, they have to marry her off, and marrying the man makes her normal again. So 2 thumbs down to that part, I think. We might need to rewrite the ending of that. But there is a lot of beauty in that idea of the 3rd breast falling off when she undergoes this transformation. And perhaps it's pointing us to this thought that in every transformation, something is lost and something is gained. If you're going through an evolution in your life, if there's some transformation happening, some change happening in your life, you got to be ready to let something go. And sometimes it's something that feels like it's so much part of us, like something we've been born with, like who we are. And sometimes that stuff has to go in order for growth to happen. So in every change, in every transitional moment in our life, something is lost and something is gained. Thanks for listening. Namaste.